Every time I just want to not do these. But there is no not doing these. These are my children. They're being held hostage by their mother, who is drunk, and her husband, who is drunk. They've been held hostage for 2 years to satisfy some type of delusional concept that they both have in their brains. Everyone around me has considered that this is me doing this, despite nobody making comment to that. This is the most dystopian fucking hellhole I have ever witnessed in my life. If I wave a knife around on a screen, that's because that's what I'm confronted with daily. That's what every man in this situation is confronted with daily. Because when I was given the information that I was going to be a father, guess what? That ended every plan that I ever had. That put every single thought of my future on hold so that I could have children. And I never, for 1 second, regret that decision to do that fully. And I have never not done that fully. So every time I'm put in this situation, there is the two alternatives in front of me. I either yell at my fucking phone or I fucking kill myself. To make it that fucking clear to the stupid fucking psychotic fucking woman on the other side of it. I wondered why my father would sit there night in and night out and drink, because he was put in the same situation by a psychotic, mentally ill woman trying to fulfill some type of fucking ideal set forth by that fucking bullshit church. A story that worked 2,000 years ago where someone was going to be killed if they were fucking made pregnant out of wedlock is not the same when it is happening now. There is no life until this is sorted out. The fact that it is just kept perpetually hanging there. Just hanging. Hey, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do, whenever the fuck I want to do. I will push your children into incompetent fucking systems of slavery that is so fucking degraded that they cannot even assess the fucking situation that we're in, where all of it is fucking useless. As we sit in a fucking desert in waiting. You fucking morons. I love it. Oh, let's all sit down and pray to the woman who fucking had sex behind a fucking manger and then gave birth to a fucking drunk. Yeah? Who must have raised his voice a little bit, who must have fucking waved his arms around a little bit to have done all that fucking shit in the first place. But you all, now, if anyone does that, they're fucking crazy. You don't even know that you're that sick with this bullshit. You don't even know. You don't know anything. You are consumed with nothingness. With the perpetuation of nothingness. With running on a fucking treadmill that is fucking, I don't know, doing nothing. You want to know why there's fucking millions of men taking their own lives? Because they feel helpless in the face of this absolute insanity. It's always the same. Go look anywhere on the internet and find out what the key causes of mass fucking suicide would be. Usually in men, usually in this exact way. Hopelessness. Because it is futile. There is an army of Virgin Mary fucking wannabes out there. An army across the globe with a fucking degenerate old man sitting at the top of it. Trying to enslave the Asian populations while we all fucking sleep and think that it's all just fun and games. It's never been fun and fucking games. If the collective insane women of this fucking earth want to write down exactly what it is they are trying to fucking do, then maybe we'd listen. But I don't see anything. Not one fucking thing. Not any awareness of the actual situation we're in. Not any skill sets to actually fucking defend or provide yourself with anything that you need in this life. Just dependent fucking banshee hit women. On call to whatever it is they're told to fucking do. I was blessed with the gift of fucking absolute relentlessness and a fucking voice to go with it. That is it. If I didn't have this ability to do this, I wouldn't be here. Like so many other fucking men in this country, I wouldn't be here. To take the fucking gifts that I gave you, to take the care and the things I provided for you, to then sit drunk and condemn me to a room where I fucking yell at my phone with no response, while accusations that are horrific are spread around as if they were as true as fucking the sunrise by my own family. What on fucking earth is going on? Can you build a house? No. Can you identify plants you can eat? No. Can you survive 3 weeks? No, you can't. Can you adequately educate our children to the laws and fucking customs of our country? No, you cannot. What can you do? You can drink. And apparently you can file a child support payment and a fucking VRO fucking statement. Why is that? Because you're a slave. Why are you a slave? Because you agreed to being a slave. My children are not agreeing to be slaves. They are held hostage by you. Just like you were. This is the last warning, and then I am calling with all authority I can muster and every scrap of integrity, everything that I can fucking possibly, every piece of my family history, to fucking deport every single member of your family and to perpetually ban them from ever setting foot on Australian soil unless you sort this fucking mess out right now. Honestly, to raise your voice at a child, abuse. Yeah, I can fucking tell you some worse fucking abuse. My father would occasionally raise his voice at me. My mother would too. But that pales in comparison to the absolute fucking inhumane abuse that I have been subjected to for the last 8 years by two individuals so fucking lost, so consumed by the garbage coming out of hospitals and the garbage coming out of psychiatrists' fucking psychopathic, narcissistic fucking minds and mouths. How fucking dare every one of you You entitled little cunts.
Right, I'm going to try and use my brain because I've had the outburst, haven't I? The outburst is part of it. I'm an actor. I'm not acting when I'm doing that outburst. That's really how I feel every fucking day. Sometimes horrifically. Especially when I interact with any time and I can see that this delaying tactic has been utilized once again. To be honest with you, the urge I have is to immediately run down to here and kill myself. To run down. To do it quickly, as if I'm running away from a shark or from a tiger. Because there is no life. There is no such thing as me enjoying my life in the future without my children. That doesn't exist. So if I get to points where it keeps going, where I feel like this, then it's like, okay, well, yep, I guess I'm out of here. Like that, like immediately. That's what happens when you torture someone for 2 years. Did you not know that? Did you not know that's what you were doing? What did you think you were doing? Did you think you were doing as you were fucking told? Did you think you were doing what the Premier told you to do? Because that's what I assume you were doing. And you also assumed you were winning, and that you assumed that this was never going to be brought to the light and this was never going to fucking end like this. I assume all of those things. Now let's get down to like the basics. Okay, we have violence against women. Yeah, it's never been less in human history, ever. There was absolutely no physical violence in any single thing I've done. There was apparently some threats, but they weren't threats. There was posturing of two men, one of whom who was asked not to be there because he already had a VRO on him. These are the facts. So there was some language between two men, one of them who was not meant to be there, who was asked politely previously on 2 occasions to not be involved, and he was involved. He was sent out by their mother and got in between me and my children. And we raised our voices. And then I waited 3 hours while they drank and drank and drank and drank. And then the police came and interviewed us separately. They didn't see any of the craziness because they interviewed us separately, because they're cowards. They're incompetent cowards. Not all of them. And they don't have any training. Nowhere near sufficient training to be able to deal with a complicated situation like this. So what are we left with? Right, equal force for equal thing, isn't it? So what did I do? I raised my voice after being sent out and threatened by another man. Okay, I raised my voice, did I? And what did you do? You outsourced multiple times on multiple occasions men with guns to come and do what? To come and enact your justice, the justice that you sought in your own mind upon me. Not justice of the land, your justice. And you twisted the law. You twisted our systems to enact that upon me, despite the fact that I was publicly publishing the fact that you were doing that. And you still continued to do that. And everyone around them continued to do it. Continued to do exactly what you were told to do by a drunk woman. On top of this, my house was broken into. A private investigator took photographs of my house. They were sent to me. My business account by PayPal was shut down and then held hostage again by my children's mother. For the first time about 4 weeks, for the second time about 8 weeks, to get $10,000 worth of funds while I had already had to hold my business operations for multiple months because of lockdowns and because of the vaccine mandates, because I wouldn't have been allowed back into the state. And this comes also 2 weeks after PayPal published publicly that they would shut down anyone's accounts who was spreading misinformation about the vaccine. This is the most insane shit ever. 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 In broad daylight, non-stop, while published publicly. Equal force. There's no such thing as equal force. On what grounds? Has this individual, who when we separated was not even a citizen of this fucking country, been given power over our police, over our judicial system, over everything, over accounts, over fucking goddamn fucking everything? Why? Because I went against a Labor MP. With relevant criticism. Well, now we find ourselves in a situation where a highly published critic of the exact same thing is right alongside the President of the United States of America. So where are we at right now? Where are we actually at? I stood and told you this 8 years ago, right here in this very spot, right here. I looked you in the eyes and I told you exactly what I had seen, what was coming. And I saw you disappear because you didn't believe me. Now, put yourself in my situation. As a 19-year-old man, you'd already gone and had sex with one of my friends after we broke up. You'd already shown signs of being, I don't know, a bit hot-headed, a bit careless, a bit, shall we say, slutty. And I sat there, despite everyone around me advising me not to, and I believed with every part of my heart that that child we agreed to raise together was mine. There was no test. There was nothing. I believed you. I then believed you on all my other children, on trust. Yet when I approached you in the same situation where I said, trust me, do you trust me? This is something I have seen is going to happen. Do you trust me? No, you didn't. And who did you trust? Who was responsible for all of this? Who incepted your brain to get you to here? The exact person I told you not to trust. The person I was born by and lived under my entire life. The person that I knew I could not trust and that I knew that you could not trust is the person that you trusted to lead us to here. At that same time, if you remember correctly, you were trying to get in contact with your dad by going and seeing a psychic and paying my money that I went and earned so you could go and pay a psychic to go and speak to your dad. Yet when I fucking say something that I see, no, he's crazy. You go to your mum, he's crazy. That leads to fucking years and years and years of me deteriorating and getting worse. Only to liberate myself and then be fucking accused of the worst shit ever non-stop. So you could fulfill your fantasy or your fucking reality, your delusion that I was crazy. I thought it was crazy you going and seeing a psychic, with my money especially. But I let you do it. I let you do every fucking thing. I let you buy every fucking thing that we just had to fucking have, that the kids just had to fucking have. And the one fucking time I asked you to trust me, the one time I asked you to not listen to my mother, who you were fucking daily having issues with, you did. Right here. I can see it clear as day. You disappeared into a fucking cave. I suppose I'm going to keep going. This is just for you. With all the capability, with all the powers I can muster, from a very, very long family history of doing this for very, very, very important people, I'm going to fucking tell you some things right now. You get 10 minutes. It's free. You don't have to fucking pay me for it. Okay, so this is extended to a community under municipal jurisdiction. This is to the entire Catholic cohort out there, including children of that institution. If your mother or your father was a devout Catholic, then this applies to you as well. You have abandoned music, and so has the church. It is going to be restored, which will restore you. There is a resonance to in our bodies and our minds that has been purposefully changed in order to fucking do this to you. The statistics of how many people have died from this are astonishingly high. They are higher than the Holocaust. The damage done by this removal of harmonic resonant devices that were installed a long time ago is a Holocaust-like situation that has been stretched out over 120 years. That in combination with the powders, fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, crack, is all combined and all perpetrated under the command of the Catholic Church. This is known as the Cabal, the secret schemes of a small group of plotters. This is irremissible, not remissible, unpardonable, as a sin that cannot be remitted. The intrusion into the Amazon was the last straw. That began the stripping of what is considered the demiurge. The demiurge was an individual, deformed, ridiculed, ostracized, by his community 40,000 years ago. A man that invoked powers that have not been matched until now. The madness we see around us is caused by this entity's projection onto our realm, and it has been removed. The earthly manifestation of this individual at the moment is Bill Gates. There have been many before him. There will be no more after him. His highest achievement was the voyeurism of human beings in the most vulnerable moments. This is why at the end of this, we have lived through the most destructive period in which we have all been observed for the last 4 years. None of this content will be used however, it will be stored for a time in human evolution when we can explore it without the confronting reality of the depths of the horrors that have been committed during this period. The complete surrender of the Vatican and all Catholic worship churches around the globe is expected from now until this coming Friday. All members of the church will be welcomed back. But any mention of the Pope, of cardinals, of Roman Catholicism as you all know it, will be barred for the next 20 years. This visual curse, virus, whatever you want to call it, possession by desires of the eyes will begin to disintegrate around you. And you'll be shown the reality of what you have become under this scourge. You'll be freed from its grips, and you'll be shown the pathway forward in faith. Once you are re-shown what that means. To hold on to the past will curse you with agony. And will curse your children with an inability to thrive. Everyone, as always, there's a few things he did get right. That Jesus fella. All sin is to be forgiven because you have no idea what you've been doing. None. If during this you have not been possessed by a feeling of shame, a feeling of sadness and depression, then listen again until you do. There is absolutely no rush to do anything. I think I've shown that pretty well. The moment I hopped off that train that was completely out of control, that had been out of control for the last 100 years, that started to become very clear. There is no train. There is no deadline. On anything. Almost every aspect of our lives is about to change in a very peaceful, calm way, with absolutely no imperative to rush. Your first duty to yourself and to your family and to the country and to the world is to relax, is to calm yourself, is to smell the roses and start repairing the damage to our societies, to our culture, to our systems. And the last thing you need to concern yourself with in this time is money. We're going to freeze every single major financial institution and corporation at this moment. Dead still. There'll be rationed food for anyone that needs it. Help everyone out. This is Christmas after all. There'll be things for the poor to feed them. Everything else stops dead now. Just like stock take for all those who work at shopping centres, supermarkets and things like that. I'm sure you've seen a stock take before. This is a stock take, that's all it is. You children don't need things for Christmas if you haven't bought them. You need to go to a level of care with your finances that we're all capable of right now. Any cases of profiteering or any of the nonsense that went on at the beginning of the pandemic will not go on now. There is no panic. There is no stress. This isn't going to be life forever. This is life right now until everybody chills the fuck out. Some suggestions I have is go for a short walk around and try and see the beauty and also the chaos and the damage of this place. Smile at people, talk to them, take time to realize you have survived the most traumatic experience in human history. You are still here, and it is your responsibility in this moment to care for your children, to listen to them, to speak openly with your friends and family about all of the experiences that have gone on in the last 4 years. To re-establish bonds that have been destroyed by this. In my determination, there was about 6 things that all happened at the same time. I've been shown there was cosmic, radiation, EMF pulses from places, from the sun, whatever, I don't know, whatever it is. Human greed and human jealousy and human fear amplified everything, but a lot of what has just happened is beyond anyone on Earth's command. It is a transition. It has happened before. Somewhere deep within your body and your mind, you will draw comfort from this knowing. This isn't the end of something beautiful. It's the end of something terrible. It is the beginning of something beautiful. And I can guarantee you that. But you just need to stop rushing. You need to stop panicking. You need to stop and slow down. If there's one thing that the British Empire can bring to you in this, and it's actually a Chinese thing, it's stop and have a cup of tea. Watch a bird. Watch a tree. Do anything that settles you in the moment, which is beautiful. Confronting, yes, but beautiful. We stop the world in a panic. And then all the scared politicians of the world stuck their foot on the accelerator at the same time. This is the opposite. Anyone seen to be amplifying stress by pushing on deadlines or pushing on budgets or pushing on payments, pushing on anything for the next month will be immediately imprisoned. If I could actually show you, imagine a nice stroll with your granny around a duck-filled lake. That is humanity for the majority of human existence. What most individuals right now are doing is a lap around Le Mans with Michael Schumacher or Vettel or Ricciardo or your favourite Formula One driver after you've just had 6 up and goes and 5 wheat picks and you're about to fucking spew. That's the world. It's not going to happen again. We are in one of the best regions on earth to make this transition. So we have a responsibility to do it successfully, to do it quickly, and then to lead by example and assist other regions that are going to have a harder time with this. If there's one thing you can do, it's plant a tree. Plant anything. Put anything in the ground. Absolutely nothing should be going to waste right now. Everything should be getting planted and cared for and built up and nurtured. No organic matter should be going to waste. It should all be getting composted or put in appropriate places. This includes our manure, which should be put immediately into regions and grown biomass with, which is large, fast-growing trees And every single person can contribute to this right now. All the systems, everything will assemble once this is accepted. This isn't a conspiracy. This isn't the Great Reset, although it is. This is something that's been known in whispers and known in premonitions and known in prophecies for a long time. And so a lot of preparations all around the world have already been made. And if you were the last to know, if this is new to you, that is because you have been protected, because to know something like this is torture. My family personally has over 600 years of preparation for this type of thing, discipline for this type of thing. There are many families that have been doing the same thing. We are not here to hurt you. We are not here to enslave you. We are not here to do anything but prepare you and look after you during this period. It is okay to fail in this moment, to fall, and to let emotion take you over. The quicker you do that, if you feel that, the quicker you will come out of that. Most of you are so strong and so resilient and so intensely trying to run this impossible race that you will find it difficult to let this go. But it is your duty, and it is your highest duty to do that now. To purge yourself from this impetuosity, which means this rushing, this fervor for more and more and more and more and faster and now and get to here and get to Friday. Thank fuck it's Friday or whatever it is. I'm going to get one word. I was going to do lots of words, but I didn't even do any words. Or maybe I did. I can't remember. Pressure, contour. Pressure cooker. Pressure. You remember? Remember we used to cook stuff in that pressure cooker and you let the pressure out when we're done? Just like that. Just like that.